And now, cutting through your typical media nonsense and offering you a rational and unbiased perspective on current events and life in Tampa Bay. He's a successful entrepreneur, published author, top listing agent, a real estate and finance expert that goes to bat for you every day as a consumer advocate. Your host and the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rimes.
All right, welcome to the show. Thanks so much for spending some time with us here and supporting the Consumer Quarterback Show and all of our expert contributors. You know, you're supporting the local economy by supporting the Consumer Quarterback Show and all of our business partners, attorneys, CPAs, financial advisors, all types of great home service providers and related businesses as well. Greatly appreciate that. We're powered by the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty. My wife, Lindsay, and I own a top 100 ranked real estate team here in Tampa Bay, always helping our sellers sell faster for more money, maximizing the exposure and the profit on the sale of our real estate by featuring our listings live on air. Our strategy works. It helps our sellers sell faster for more money for maximum profit right here in beautiful Tampa Bay and the Gulf Coast region of Florida. So we greatly appreciate that. Ron Fuller in the house, TriCountyMetals.com. Dr. Scott Anderson joining us as well. Share the Love Charities, and also his company is Addiction Recovery Care of Tampa. So we got a great lineup for you here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. A couple of headlines here. China lifts Boeing ban after the new pact. You have annual inflation slowest since 2021. Where did 19 come from? We got a party coming up too, Todd. Talk about this party on the 22nd. Thursday, the 22nd, we call it our monthly gratitude party / business mixer, a.k.a. happy hour. And it's a free event. You're invited. Our audience is invited. Tell them about it, Todd.
Coming up Thursday, May 22nd, our happy hour. And Crown and Bull, downtown Dunedin. We're going to have some live music there. It's always a great time. Dunedin is an awesome little town. Great place to walk around and down by the water and everything like that. But the Crown and Bull, I think, is probably my favorite place in all of Dunedin to go to. The back ambiance and the back space is just fantastic.
Yeah.
Always a fun time.
Yeah. And bring your questions. You can meet our expert contributors. You meet our radio show partners, and real estate team is going to be there. So that's going to be Thursday, the 22nd, 6 o'clock, Crown and Bull. Come on out. We're providing the food. It's going to be a great time. We hope to see you there. All right, a couple of hot listings. We'll jump right into it. Also, today's topic, too, top 10 things Christians should avoid saying. So a little reminder for you there in case we like these top 10s. These top 10s are fun to get into, and we've done some really fun ones over the past couple weeks and shows. All right, 221 Howard Drive. This is our favorite listing right now, $2.75 million listing. This one is 5 bedrooms, 3 bath, 3,500 square foot, single-family home over at Bel Air Beach, Florida. Beautiful property. This is a luxury international, Keller Williams Realty luxury international property, and 100 linear feet of water frontage on deep water canal, saltwater pool, highest land elevation in the area, 1 block to beach access. So bring your boats, bring your jet skis, enjoy that Florida living to the fullest. Take your boat out into the Gulf of America and then walk over or maybe bike over to the beach. 1 block to beach access where you can see the sugar sand beaches, dolphin-filled waters of beautiful Bel Air Beach, Florida, Pinellas County, 221 Howard Drive. One of our hot listings from Aaron on our team, the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty, always helping you win in your real estate deals. All right, let's take a look at our other $1 million listing here. We've got one on Magnolia Island Boulevard, 17416 Magnolia Island Boulevard. 5 bedrooms, 3 full bath, 2 half bath, 2 car garage, 3121 square feet, 1 acre of land. And this is a really unique property because it's an acre of land. So you've got that estate-style home, that estate-style feel. And it's Magnolia Island is home to about 30 homes in that community. So it's a rare gem at an excellent price. Lighter color kitchen cabinetry, pool, spa package, great opportunity to own real estate. Beautiful home close to Orlando as well, kind of in between Tampa and Orlando. Great opportunity there to buy real estate. You can see all of our listings, PlatinumMVPTeam.kw.com. That's right. Shout out to all of our veterans out there, Hero Fest. Dave, our producer, did a job on that, did a good job promoting that. I know you were involved with Hero Fest at some degree as well, Ron.
Absolutely. Man, now, those are the heroes. We have a superhero theme going, and they're ultimately the superheroes. I mean, if you think about it, they literally put their life on the line for us every day. I say if you're in a mall or coffee shop or airport, if you see a veteran, you see a police officer, fire, paramedics, thank them. Maybe buy them a cup of coffee, but stop, look them in the eye, shake their hand, and thank them for their service.
Yeah, that's a big deal, man. I like that. That's and if you think about the veterans and over the years, the way that it used to be in the 50s, 60s, 70s, right? That there was it seemed like there was a higher respect level.
Yes.
Now it seems like sometimes it's just kind of brushed away and taken a little bit as for granted, right?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, if your mother or father or a police officer, that should be a big deal. Kindergarten class, hey, can your mom or dad come in and they're look at their uniform. It should be a thing of honor.
Right.
It's not as if they're overpaid to risk their life for strangers.
Yep, that's true.
Well, think about fire. They're going into a building that everybody else is running out of.
Yep.
And they don't get the recognition that a basketball player gets for, a record game. That's great. Sports are great. I know you love sports. You're a football player. Sports can do a lot of things for kids. But a real hero are the people who don't get incredibly well paid and put their life on the line every single day.
Absolutely. And we offer discounts for veterans, first responders, teachers, nurses, seniors, and all of those related industries. So anybody buying, selling, investing, we offer discounts for that. Does Tri-County Metals have something of the sorts? I'm
glad you spoke about that. So the Hero Fest, great event to just thank these folks. But I can tell you that for Tri-County Metal, we do. Veterans get a 10% discount off their metal package, and that's a big chunk of money. Metal isn't cheap, but it's worth it. It's going to last. You're on your home. Your home is going to have a roof that you're never going to have to replace. And when you think about heroes, we really want to honor them. It's a real discount. It's just not something we throw out there. You're going to save a substantial amount of money on your roof package. So when you call into Tri-County, say, hey, I'm interested in a roof. We don't do the installation. We provide the material. We manufacture the material. We'll get you in touch with a great contractor. But tell us that you're a veteran, and you will save 10%.
Yeah, I love that, man. Helping the veterans out, hooking up the veterans, taking care of them out there, loving on them a little bit. It's definitely, the least we can do. Quick shout out to Brio Tuscan Grill, by the way. Live music. They've got a new live music lineup that the manager was texting me about. Lisa Casalino is going to be at Brio. Multiple dates coming up on next week. So check her out. It's live music over at Brio Tuscan Grill, the official restaurant partner of the Consumer Quarterback Show over in the Tampa International Plaza. Right there at the top, the north side of West Shore Boulevard. Brio Tuscan Grill, restaurant partner. Excellent food, wonderful ambiance, very friendly wait staff, and we value our relationship with Brio. Live music coming up, and Lisa Casalino is the special music dates. She's got dates there. She's going to be there on the 22nd, the 29th, and also, so go out and see her, 6 to 9 p.m., they have happy hour menus as well over there as well. You ever eaten at Brio?
Oh, Brio is great, and live music is so fun. I feel like live music's making a comeback.
Yeah, I love it.
Now our next partner appreciation show.
Yep, live music there.
But Brio, the food is so good.
It really is, man.
We've been friends for a long time. What I love about Brio is it's consistently great. It was fantastic 7 years ago. It's good today. I don't know if it's the staff, the chef, the whole crew, and the whole package, but their food is consistently really good.
Yeah, I love it. Talk to me about Tri-County Metals, because it's you're looking for connections out there with contractors, roofers, people that are buying metal. So you're your capacity is the business development manager.
Yes. So what we're looking to partner with is the roofing contractors out there. We manufacture the metal, and we've sure seen some really great growth in the metal sector for Florida, particularly with the storms, the insurance, just the longevity, the energy efficiency. Metal is growing tremendously in popularity. There was always a segment that that was a metal segment for Florida, particularly on the coast because of how well it holds up in storms. But people inside the state have discovered it as well. People have discovered that, hey, the storm still bothers me. Even if I don't live on the beach, I'm still getting affected, even inland. And the idea of not having to replace my roof constantly, or especially after a storm, is a big deal. We talked about it on the last show, too, is it's really good for the person who wants to look after their children and grandchildren. Every time there's a claim on an insured home, it's going to raise your rates.
Yeah.
Ultimately, we've seen with some of these big storms is some insurance industry people just pulled out of the state. Even State Farm for a period stopped insuring homes in Florida. Yeah. Now, what is that a result of? Is that a result of mean, greedy insurance companies? No. Insurance companies are out here to make money, obviously, but they're here to protect us like a good neighbor, and they do. But when they take those substantial hits, something's got to give. It's either going to give with your rates or just the availability of insurance. So that's one of the great things about a metal roof is you're really looking after your children and grandchildren's future just by the virtue of having something that's going to hold up.
And the warranties are like for some crazy warranties that I've seen. I've seen one with a 65-year warranty, I think.
Yeah, so metal holds up so well, Brandon. Our substrate or the material itself, 24 gauge, 26 gauge metal, it has a 50-year warranty. The paint, 26 gauge SMP paint, which is a silicone modified polymer paint, it has a 40-year paint warranty.
Wow.
So, 50 years on the material itself, 40 years on the paint. That's incredible. I mean, the average mortgage is 30 years, right? So you've got a material on the home that's actually going to outlast the mortgage.
I mean, I really like just that regular, what do you call it, metallic look. I mean, the straight up, man, that looks really good. It's kind of blends a little bit more natural, I think. And I don't know, maybe it's something a little personally. I had when I was early in my real estate career, one of my first $1 million listings. This one was $1.3 or $1.4 million listing. I got it over on a lake in Odessa, and I had a contract. I had an offer come in. We went under contract. He canceled the contract. Buyer canceled the contract. It was my listing. Canceled the contract because the metal roof was blue. It was a light blue or a little bit blue color. And he just said, man, I love the house. I just can't I don't know if I can't commit to that blue color. So don't paint them the colors. I like just a natural look, you know.
Well, we've got now even available in the saltwater what we call coastal metal, black, dark bronze, those really rich colors.
Yeah, I've seen those.
Galvalume is probably what you're referring to. That's kind of a silver type of look.
Yep.
But then there's also silver metallic paint that you can get on the aluminum. So that's the other thing that we do is based on where you're located, we can get you a metal package. You can be directly on the salt water. Get a coastal metal that's warranted. You've got a 25-year warranty on that paint and 25-year warranty on the material itself.
That's great.
So it is pretty amazing. But the dark colors are rich and vibrant, and I think the best part of those is the neutralness. A dark roof is going to be elegant and classy 10 years from now, 20 years from now, 30 years from now, because you've got a long-lasting roof. Pick the color right.
Yeah, exactly. Make sure you're doing that. All right, more with Ron Fuller coming up, TriCountyMetals.com, TriCountyMetals.com. Introduce them to any of your realtor friends would be good, but also roofing friends is the main thing to introduce Ron for because he's going to be local. Their product is made in Florida, made in America, made in Florida here. What was it, Trenton, Florida, Ron?
Trenton, Florida, yeah. Okeechobee, Florida.
Okeechobee, yep. Did some rodeos back in Okeechobee back in the day. Yeah. All right, so some more headlines coming up. World's second largest automaker relocates production to the United States. Also, annual inflation lowest since 2021 coming up here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. Top 10 things Christians should avoid saying as well. Consumer Quarterback Show, consumerqb.com.
Thanks for listening to my daddy's show. Please make sure to send him all of your real estate deals and subscribe to the Consumer Quarterback Show podcast on iTunes and Spotify, or check out our YouTube channel. Have a blessed day.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 813-917-1894. Online at consumerqb.com.
Hey, Brandon BRimes here. Did you know that we buy houses cash? We will close quickly and give you a fair offer on your home or residential properties, even commercial properties, and we will give you a fair cash offer, close quickly, and be diligent when you're shopping these types of scenarios, because a lot of the wholesalers, the flippers out there, they will sign you up on an as-is contract, and they will shop that contract and try to find a buyer, but they may not find the buyer, and they won't close. So this is Brandon BRimes, 813-917-1894, consumerqb.com. Brandon BRimes, we buy houses cash and fast. Attention business owners, did you know we have 100% financing options available? Our no money down program offers 100% financing for business owners. If you are currently leasing your commercial space, you can purchase real estate for no money down. Additionally, the program offers money for working capital, equipment, and business fixtures. You can even pay off current business debt. Reach out at 813-917-1894. That is my direct cell. You can call or text 813-917-1894. BRimes at kw.com. And that is our 100% financing, no money down program for business owners. We would love to help you buying, selling, or investing in real estate. 813-917-1894. BRimes at kw.com. Ours Creole Smokehouse, the official Pinellas County restaurant partner of the Consumer Quarterback Show. Say hello to Doug Clark, chef and owner Doug Clark, 310 East Tarpon Avenue, Tarpon Springs, ourscreole.com. Ours Creole Smokehouse, 310 East Tarpon Avenue, Tarpon Springs, ourscreole.com. Excellent food, wonderful ambiance. Say hello to our friend Doug Clark.
You're listening to the Consumer Quarterback, Brandon BRimes, cutting through your typical media nonsense and offering you a rational and unbiased perspective on current events and life in Tampa Bay. Online at consumerqb.com.
All right, welcome back. Brandon BRimes here, Consumer Quarterback Show in studio. We've got Ron Fuller in the house, Tri-County Metals. Coming up, Dr. Scott Anderson as well on the program. Top 10 things Christians should avoid saying. We're going to talk about that here in just a minute. All right, a couple of hot listings here from the Platinum MVP team. We got a property on Old Sycamore Loop. This one's in Land O'Lakes. We have a great opportunity here. 4 bedrooms, 2.5 bath, 2-car garage, 2-story, single-family home, large fenced-in backyard, oversized backyard there. Great opportunity here in beautiful Tampa Bay. 10711 Old Sycamore Loop, Land O'Lakes, Florida. Lighter color kitchen, cabinetry, and bathrooms. Great opportunity to buy real estate here in the Tampa Bay area. We would love to show you that property there. 5274 Miller Bayou Drive, and this one's in Port Richey. Beautiful Pasco County property for sale. This one's vacant land. It's a 1/4-acre lot. You got water on 2 sides, access to the Gulf of America as well. 5274 Miller Bayou Drive in Port Richey. It's Pasco County, Florida. And you can see all of our listings at platinummvpteam.kw.com. All right, top 10 things Christians should avoid saying, Ron. It says, sticks and stones can break your bones, but words can cause damage in a metaphysical way. I think, first of all, starting with that is people don't realize the effect of what you're verbally saying. So many people say things that are self-detrimental, or they say things that are just counterintuitive, things that you wouldn't want to bring into the world, but by speaking it, you're doing it. This list is not intended to be patronizing. In fact, many of us sometimes slip and say these things. So top 10 things Christians should avoid. Number 1, it says the name of God in vain. This one's classic. We should only use his powerful name in high regard, and uttering it in reaction to something that frustrates, downplays the name of God's exquisite divinity. What's your thoughts?
Absolutely. I think it's really sad. There was a time when to enter the holies of holies, the priests had to have a ritual cleansing. They had to go through a lot of things just to get near God's throne. In fact, they would tie ropes in case they weren't clean and they didn't make it.
Wow.
When Jesus died on the cross and the veil tore, veils were 14, 15 inches thick. that was a thick veil. When that tore, that meant we had access to God. We could pray to God Almighty anytime. We didn't have to go through a priest who had been ceremoniously cleansed. So the fact that we can talk to God should make us even more aware of his holy name. And I'm a hypocrite because I know I'm guilty of this list. I'm scared to hear the list. Lord, forgive me now.
Pray for forgiveness ahead of time. And I think also Dennis Prager's Rational Bible series, I often talk about it because it's so good. It's about the Torah, but he also mentions how just saying, GD or in that sense is not what most people think. What it really means is from the Torah perspective, and he's frequent in the Hebrew, the language and the written word, is that when you use the Lord's name to do evil acts is what he refers to. So he's talking about so then the priest comes to mind, right? The priest, in the church that do the bad things to the kids or whatever. That's what it really means. But you shouldn't say it either. Number 2, someone should go to burn or rot in hell. That's the Bible tells us not to hate our enemies, but to love them, and to given how horrible a place hell is. What's your thoughts on that one?
Oh, hell's horrendous. You wouldn't want anybody to go there. We're all capable of great evil, but we're also, through God, we're also able to be cleansed and forgiven. And to wish that on anybody is horrible, or even to do it with a group of buddies. You're watching a Super Bowl game. Hey, go to because your team, whatever. Don't say that. Words do matter.
Clean it up. Clean it up. I think just in general is profanity is profane. The opposite of that is righteous. Number 4 is it's impossible. Are you sure about that? Because Matthew 19:26 says quite the opposite. With God, all things are possible. Ron.
Once again, there is power in words. And, and I think subconsciously we start to believe the things we say are here, whether they're negative or positive. Yeah. And I think positive affirmation, I don't know if it's a magic bullet, but your brain listens to things.
Oh, yeah.
Even subconsciously. And you and I both enjoy, who's the guy?
Tony Robbins?
No.
Or, there's a lot of good ones. I love Les Brown, motivational type speakers.
He's a guy that's been passed away for a few years, but you and I really like him. I can't think of him. I see his face.
Rush Limbaugh?
No. Anyway, I'll tell you 2 days from now. I'll call you and say, hey, this is who I was talking about. But so here's the thing. You really do hear subconsciously things.
Yeah.
If you're speaking negatively, your mind starts to hear that, and your brain's like, "Hey, you're a loser. You're not going to make it here." The 4-minute mile is the perfect example.
Yeah, exactly.
Perfect
really
example. It was impossible for a human being to run a 4-minute mile till it happened in the 1950s. Then everybody came behind him and broke the record.
Roger Bannister did it. Luck. If you believe in God, you should be mindful of the fact that it's never luck. Okay, that's number 5. Karma. As Christians, we don't believe in this Hindu concept. However, we believe in something similar to the wrath of God. Number 7. God doesn't give people more than they can handle. Try telling Job that. The notion of is a misrepresentation of the verse number Corinthians 10:13, and anything that implies belief in astrology. Someone is in going to heaven or to hell, and then swear words. So there's your top 10. Final thoughts, Ron.
Yes, I think we should be careful to speak on behalf of God. Basically, I would say if you're talking about salvation, his amazing love and his patience and kindness to the human race, you can speak on that all day. But don't speak on God's behalf. Just keep it safe.
There you go. All right, good stuff. Ron Fuller, check him out online, tricountymetals.com, tricountymetals.com. Introduce them to your roofer buddies. Thanks for coming in, bud. Appreciate it.
Great being here. Thanks, Brandon.
Coming up, Dr. Scott Anderson, Share the Love Charities and Addiction Recovery Care of Tampa. Coming up on the program. Follow us online. We'd love to connect with you at BrandonRimes1 at CQB Show on Instagram and all of the social sites. Also, please subscribe to our YouTube channel, up 700% in views since Q4. Consumer Quarterback Show, consumerqb.com.
Hey, I'm Ken Shamrock, and you're here with Consumer Quarterback Show. And I say, Brandon Rhymes, Knock out your competition.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 813-917-1894. Online at consumerqb.com. You're listening to The Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rimes. Online at consumerqb.com. Brandon is Tampa Bay's #1 consumer advocate for real estate and financial advice. Call Brandon today at 813-917-1894.
All right, welcome back. Brandon Rimes here, Consumer Quarterback Show. We are joined by Dr. Scott Anderson here in studio, Share the Love Charities, and also Addiction Recovery Care of Tampa. We're going to talk about DUIs, probation, and the process that you can utilize to mitigate some of the damages there with that scenario. And also, annual inflation slowest since 2021, a key price gauge unexpectedly ticked down in April, a sign that inflation remained on a downward path, just as most U.S. tariffs came into effect. So a lot of these trade deals are taking effect right now. And we're talking on the mortgage side, we're talking to our audience about signing up for our mortgage alert. So whenever the rates dip, you want to get on our wait list and understand, hey, the rates took a dip. This is a great time maybe to refinance, pay off some of the debt, some of the higher interest rate credit card debt. So reach out to the show online at consumerqb.com. You can submit an email right through the website at consumerqb.com. And, of course, you can also call the hotline that you hear in between these segments. All right, Dr. Scott Anderson coming up. Before we do, a couple of hot listings here from the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty, always helping you win in your real estate deals. If you're buying, selling, investing, we would love to talk to you. We take great pride in helping our sellers sell faster for more money with maximum profit right here in beautiful Tampa Bay. A lot of our listings and all the way down to Venice area up to Gainesville, over to Orlando. We've got a lot of listings, about 45 current listings on the real estate team. So we'd like to help you if you're buying, selling, investing. Reach out and talk to us. We would take great pride in that. All right, we got some hot listings here in Tampa Bay. This one's 5407 County Road 125 in Wildwood. This is a listing that Jamie has listed. Great opportunity to buy real estate here in beautiful Tampa Bay area, Wildwood, Florida. This one's 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 2-car garage, 1,914 square foot single family home. The kitchen has granite countertops, LED lighting, and beautiful golf course views in the back. Great opportunity to buy real estate. And International Airport of Leesburg is just 30 minutes away. So perfect location for folks that want that northern area. The further north you go, you get a lot more bang for your buck up that way as well. All right, check out 7405 Dove Meadow Tail Trail. This one's a property that we have listed here. Owner is motivated on this property at 7405 Dove Meadow Tail Trail. Kind of an interesting name for that property. And by the way, all of our listings are at platinummvpteam.kw.com. You can see that website if you're buying, selling, investing. So this property is 2.77 acres, residentially zoned, located about 7 miles from historic downtown Lakeland with beautiful farmers markets, restaurants, and boutiques. Beautiful property, close to Walt Disney World as well. And, of course, Tampa International, about 45 minutes away. Buy some dirt, buy some land. We got about a dozen or so vacant land listings. So if you're thinking about buying vacant land, the best idea, the best strategy is to reach out and let us put you in touch with one of our buyer agents that can pair you up with the right property, help you negotiate the right deal, and reach out to the show. We'd love to help you. Check out our website, platinummvpteam.kw.com. All right, Dr. Scott Anderson, welcome back in, sir.
Thanks to be back.
Yeah, man.
Good to be back.
Yep. So today, DUIs, probation, processes that can help mitigate some of these effects. I like that topic.
The DUIs are pretty prevalent here in Florida. Actually, overall, comparative to all the states, we're pretty good. We're not even in the top 40. So we're good.
As far as DUIs?
Yeah,
arrest?
for DUIs, in terms of percentage of DUIs and death per DUI.
Per capita?
Yeah, so the worst states are, believe it or not, you would think Florida would be right up there, but it's not. It's South Dakota,
Wow.
North Dakota, Montana, Wyoming, and Texas.
Wow.
Believe it or not, round out the top 5. And Montana's the worst.
Those seem like very rural. It's counterintuitive, huh?
Well, here's what usually affects it is one is access to public transportation.
Got it.
Plus, when a place is very big and expansive and rural,
Got it.
there's a kind of a culture of drinking.
Got it.
And people are used to drinking and driving and, because there's no alternative sometimes.
They're less
other
likely
than
to get
obviously you're
pulled.
not supposed to do it. But,
Yeah.
so that's one of the,
I can see
the
that.
major.
Less ride
major
share.
stuff. Plus, I think it's kind of cold and miserable most of the time. I remember in the Midwest, I grew up in Chicago, and boy, people love to drink there.
Yeah.
In the wintertime.
Wow.
They would just, it's all about eating and drinking.
Wow.
So it's
Yeah.
a culture of it, I guess.
I hear you.
Yeah.
Yeah, interesting. And
Florida,
Florida's
we're
the
active
opposite of that.
and we're
Yeah.
busy. We have great public transportation in certain areas, and there's lots of Uber now. So, but we've implemented DUI counterattack over about 30 years ago, and since then, DUIs have decreased dramatically. It's one of the few government-run agencies that actually has efficacy and does a really good job.
Interesting.
So our DUIs have gone down dramatically in the last 20 years.
Yeah, that's interesting. I like that. Especially the ride share. I think that's really helped a lot of people. Great limo services as well. If you want to get a limousine, if you're going to have a night out, might as well.
And it's still reasonably cost effective. I mean, you're looking at Florida has about 50,000 DUIs per year. In Hillsborough County, where we're at, you're looking at right around probably 5,000, of which the death as related to alcohol-related deaths, you're looking 940, almost 1,000 people a year die from that. That's a lot.
A lot less than guns. Though,
of course. Yeah,
right?
of course,
but you don't hear the left saying,
let's get away cars.
Yeah, we can't be driving out there
or
anymore.
alcohol. Notice they don't ever ask for the alcohol to get taken away. So.
And by the way, boating under the influence.
Yes.
Have you seen those? I mean, there's been some accidents
That's
lately.
up.
Yeah,
that's
up, man.
Yeah, that's up. Unfortunately, that may go down a little bit because DeSantis decided that they can't just board your boat anymore for no reason, just to do the Nazi checks. They've got to actually have a reasonable cause and stuff. I'm sure they'll find.
I like how he's erring on the side of the Constitution and freedom, and especially with the property tax thing. I mean, that's going to be great if we can reduce these property
Unbelievable.
taxes.
So I'm really hoping on. He's gung ho about it now. I've watched him about 3 or 4 times, really speaking to it. So I'm hoping he gets done.
Man, I think a lot of people are. I saw something that said something like 81% or 71% are for that. I'm like, who's the other 19?
Yeah, that's I want to know.
Who's the
all
other
these
19?
surveys that liberals do, there's always 20% that wish for death and destruction. Who are these people? You know what I mean? I mean,
they're the TDS.
Is it Congress and their relatives? I don't get it.
Well, they got TDS. Those are the ones that have the TDS. So that whatever it is, the opposite. I was listening to Mike Gallagher's show today, and he said something about if Trump were to come out and say something about dog stuff on the side of the road, they would say, no, we're going to eat that.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's try that. Let's see if they do.
In children, we call it oppositional defiant disorder.
Okay, yes.
And these are, Congress is like children. I mean, so they would probably qualify under that diagnostic, but oppositional defiant disorders, where you basically are opposing to just create havoc and cause pain and suffering to whoever's around you.
I can see that.
Hurt people. And mentally unstable people, like most politicians, really do have some serious issues with wanting anarchy and destruction, while they reap the rewards of that, and they align their pockets.
I can see that. Yeah, authority. They're going against authority or against the opposing
they want
party.
Chaos. It's easy to control.
That's right.
So
create chaos. That's part of their strategy. I mean, that's where the whole men and women thing.
Keep people down and under with the need and dependence on government.
Right.
They create the problems, and then you got to go to the government to solve the problems.
That's a big one,
and that's just a measure of control.
Increase taxes, that way they can control more.
Of course.
And
if you can't own anything or do anything, can't afford anything, and you're dependent upon the government for everything, there you go. They'll be in power forever.
Yeah, exactly. That's true, man. That's exactly what the strategy is. It seems to be.
It is.
Yeah. Strategy of the left. Yeah.
Well, don't make it worse by losing money on DUIs.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Here's the thing. The average cost for one DUI is right around $5,000. It's $2,500 to $5,000 depending on if you get an attorney.
Wow.
Now, there's a question you were asking earlier you were interested in. You said, "Hey, what's the great debate is, do you blow or don't blow with the field sobriety test, or do you go?" First of all, I'm not giving you legal advice, so I have to preface that.
Yeah.
But I can tell you from 20 plus years of experience working with police officers who do this specifically, and judges and attorneys, I can tell you that best practice would be, if you're severely intoxicated and incoherent and not being able to articulate and speak and stand up straight, don't blow.
Right.
Don't blow. Just do a refusal. I tell people all the time, never submit to a field sobriety test. You don't have to. You do not have to. You can ask to be breathalyzed, or even blood work is fine. If they suspect drugs, they have the right to do that, which is fine. I would go straight there. I would negate the whole process of the field sobriety test. It's set up to make you fail.
Right. I mean, you got to be kind of an athlete to do that stuff.
When you're sober and straight, you still can't pass it.
Yeah.
So there's only one admissible one, and that's the eye test, because it's an involuntary muscular movement around the bicularis oculi, which is the area around your eye there. Your eye tracks in a very specific way in vision when you're looking at something. It's called eye tracking. So it'll look at points of reference really quickly, and it follows the same exact pattern. When you're inebriated and you follow the pen without moving your head, what they're looking for is involuntary muscular movement in the left or right side. That would say that you were impaired. So that could be used against you.
When you say involuntary movement, so is it going to be slower to catch up to the pen?
No, it's a little wiggling on the side of your eye. It has
Really?
nothing to do with tracking the pen
I
at
didn't
all.
realize that.
It's they're kind of fooling you. They're saying track the eye, but what they're really doing is get your eye to move so they can see that little involuntary muscular spasm on the left side of the eye.
Interesting.
Yeah, and that's admissible, because that wouldn't contract like that. What that means is your eye can't track, and it's trying to reset itself, and in doing so, the eye has involuntary muscular movement.
Right,
and that's what they're looking at.
Dr. Scott Anderson here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. Share the Love Charities, Addiction Recovery Care of Tampa, ARCofTampaBay.com. That's Addiction Recovery Care of TampaBay.com. He can help you in a lot of different ways. By the way, for our audience, how do you help people? Who are you looking to talk to?
Well, we do regular treatment of substance abuse and mental health, but what I'm here to kind of help people through is the process of the DUI. And by the way, the blow, like I said, if you're very intoxicated, don't blow. Right. If you're even reasonably coherent, you can talk and you will walk around, always blow.
Okay.
Because then in court, almost 90% of the time, they're going to plea bargain that down to a reckless or something. You've got some leeway for your attorney to work with.
Got it.
So that's always the best.
Because you're looking like you cooperated. Hey,
but then they can say he was perfectly fine. Who are you to judge whether he was able to or not? If you didn't do the field sobriety test and you're talking fine and you're walking around, that's the best ammunition for your attorney.
Got it.
So that's the gig on that. But if you're falling down drunk, don't blow.
Right, because then you're concrete.
Just take the L on that one and do the year suspension and so on.
Like you're double the amount. You're done.
Absolutely. And again, the second DUI in Florida within a year, you're getting a fine of about $2,000. You're also mandatory up to 9 months in jail.
Jeez.
So two DUIs, and you got probation, you got the IID interlock device in your car.
Yeah.
Special insurance, SR22. You're talking big expense and big hassle.
Yeah.
So 4 DUIs in the course of your existence and driving, and you're going to get a mandatory revocation, permanent.
Wow.
And that's the end of that.
Yeah. Well, hey, look, the people are making that many mistakes. They don't need to be on the road killing people.
I agree. No, I completely agree. And
Terrible, man.
Yeah.
Dr. Scott Anderson here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. Why don't we take a quick break here and come back and talk more with him? DUIs, probation, processes to mitigate these damages, and more coming up. He's the founder and president, clinical director as well, ARC of Tampa.com, ARC of Tampa Bay.com, Addiction Recovery Care Tampa, here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, ConsumerQB.com.
Hey, this is Grant Cardone, and you're listening to Consumer Quarterback Show, hosted by my friend Brandon Rhymes. Do not touch that dial. I'll come right through the radio and grab your throat.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 813-917-1894. Online at ConsumerQB.com.
AmericaFirstPatriotStore.com for all of your non-woke, American-made products. American values, Christian, conservative American values. Say hello to my business partner, Jim McCune, at AmericaFirstPatriotStore.com. David Reynolds Jewelry and Coin.com. Say hello to Shane Socash, longtime friend of the Consumer Quarterback Show, 4009 Central Avenue, St. Petersburg. Online at David Reynolds Jewelry and Coin.com for all of your precious metals and jewelry design. David Reynolds Jewelry and Coin.com. Blue Moon Estate Sales of Pinellas County for all of your estate sale needs. BlueMoonEstateSales.com. Reach out to Jennifer. Tell her you heard about her here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. BlueMoonEstateSales.com. And stop by their store, the Blue Moon Store, at 1479 South Belcher in Largo. 1479 South Belcher in Largo. And that's BlueMoonEstateSales.com. SJ Movers and Junk Removal, the official moving partner of the Consumer Quarterback Show. 727-717-0846 for all your moving and junk removal. 727-717-0846. SJ Movers and Junk Removal. Selling commercial, vacant land, or residential properties? Don't leave money on the table. List with the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty. I'm Brandon Rhymes. You can reach me at 813-917-1894. Call or text 813-917-1894. Online at ConsumerQB.com. That's ConsumerQB, like quarterback.com. Buying, selling, investing, or refinancing, we would love to talk to you. Thank you so much and have a blessed day.
You're listening to the Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rhymes, cutting through your typical media nonsense and offering you a rational and unbiased perspective on current events and life in Tampa Bay. Online at ConsumerQB.com.
All right, welcome back. Brandon Rhymes here in studio. Dr. Scott Anderson with us, ARC of TampaBay.com, Addiction Recovery Care of Tampa. Talking about DUIs and some of those questions around that. Should you blow or should you not? We answered that, so we'd love to talk to you. If you have any questions or you want to meet with him, want to have a consultation, talk about real estate or any of our other partners, reach out 813-917-1894. Call or text 813-917-1894. All right, we got a property here at 16625 Goose Ribbon Place in Waimama. This is a smart home. It's in one of those lagoon communities. What an awesome property in the Hillsborough County. It's in Waimama, Florida. 322 smart home, 1844 square feet. It's a guard-gated community. HOA dues include next generation internet and cable. So it's a community that's guard-gated 24/7. Beautiful lagoon community. It also has volleyball courts, nature trails, dog park, and a vibrant clubhouse. 16625 Goose Ribbon Place, Waimama, Florida. Beautiful property from the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty. All right, we also have 1161 Rio de Janeiro Avenue, Punta Gorda, Florida. This is down in Charlotte County. We just did a $50,000 price drop on this property. $50,000 price improvement at 1161 Rio de Janeiro Avenue, Punta Gorda, Florida. 4 bedrooms, 3 bath, 2574 square feet, quarter-acre lot, metal roof, pool home, screened in lanai, pavers in the back, lighter color kitchen cabinetry with granite countertops. Great opportunity, owner motivated. Check out all of our listings at platinummvpteam.kw.com. All right, quick shout out to Satellite Phone Store, sat123.com/REQB. Satellite Phone Store for all of your satellite phones. You've got all of your other essential supplies, but have you thought about a satellite phone store, satellite phone? Sat123.com/RE, like real estate QB, REQB to get the discount. Sat123.com/REQB QB satellite phone store right here, and they're out of Sarasota, Florida. Great company. All right, Dr. Scott Anderson talking DUIs. What else are you thinking out there?
Well, I want to let people know what the process is to kind of mitigate the damage. They don't really explain a whole lot, but average experience would be basically when you get a DUI and you go through the process, booking, et cetera, if you're found guilty, they're going to send you off to a place called, depending on what county you're in, DUI counterattack. There's Florida First, Florida Safety Council, North Florida. There's a whole bunch, but they're basically DUI assessments in schools, where they're going to put you through a series of classes. Usually you do a 2-day class on the weekend and a 3-day class for level 2, meaning multiple offenses. So if you go through the school, after you go through that class, you got to pay for all this, and it's several $100s. They're going to evaluate you and assess you. And this is one of the most confusing parts, is because sometimes they'll recommend treatment, and then they'll recommend without requiring, and then they will say no treatment. The no treatment and the recommendation for treatment is very clear. But people get confused about the recommended, not required. Now, DUI can't require any treatment, but the DMV can and probation can. So in the court's eyes, if you get a recommended but not required, you're going to go do some form of treatment. They call it treatment. I call it treatment service hours because what we do as facilitators, there's a list of providers, of about 20-some providers in Hillsborough County. And what happens is DUI, once they assess that you're recommended for treatment, they'll give you a list, and then you pick one of those providers. Then you contact that provider. What they're going to do is schedule an evaluation and assessment to determine what level of care you should be, if you need treatment, and duration of stay. So that is usually about $75, at least with us. And then what'll happen is, on average, because you have to do the evaluation first, but I can say over the years, on average, level 1 is about 8 visits or 8 weeks, 16 hours worth of education and or treatment, including drug screens and labs. If you have a DUI card, a marijuana card, that's not applicable to treatment. You're going there to be assessed for addiction. So if you can't stop the smoking weed for the duration of time you're in there, some facilities may allow it. I don't recognize it because there's no medicinal use for it. So I consider that a red flag.
So what does that mean, though? I want to be clear on that. If you have the medical marijuana card and you're taking gummies or you're smoking, you have
to abstain while you're in the class because
they want to get you clean.
Screened.
They want to get you clean.
You're assumed guilty until proven innocent, unfortunately, through the state when you get a DUI. So they want to assess whether or not you have a problem.
Interesting.
And if you do, obviously they don't want you driving around killing their children and their families. So they put you to a professional, and then we assess and say, hey, we're going to put you through treatment. We're going to drug screen you every week. As long as you maintain abstinence over this duration, go back to doing whatever you were doing. That's fine
for a while.
Because now we know that you're not an addict, that you're not addicted or dependent. Because people who are dependent are going to be using and driving again. So that's the process. Once you go through the program and you do it, we meet one time a week, either on a Wednesday evening or Saturday, to help people with work and their obligations. You're looking at a cost of about $800 to $1,000 on average for level 1 and level 2, worst case scenario. So $100 a week inclusive of your lab and drug screen. So you come in once a week on a Wednesday night, you go through a group or education process, each for 2 hours. And then after your 8th visit, you get a discharge, a certificate of completion, discharge summary, and then that goes out to the DUI, to DMV, and to probation, and then you're done.
Nice. ARCofTampaBay.com for more information. ARC of TampaBay.com, Dr. Scott Anderson. Thanks for coming in, man.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
My pleasure. Always good information. Appreciate that. Reminder about our party coming up Thursday the 22nd, 6 o'clock, Crown and Bull. And please go out there and consider committing a random act of kindness. Do something kind for one another. Be a force for good in the community. And we'll see you next time here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, consumerqb.com.
You've been listening to The Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rimes. Whether it's real estate, consumer, or financial advice, let Brandon call your next play. Call Brandon Rimes at 813-917-1894. That's 813-917-1894. Online at consumerqb.com. And join us next time for The Consumer Quarterback Show.